Jeffrey Epstein's sick antics are being linked to a decades-old sci-fi novel that some say eerily anticipated his notorious sex trafficking operation. The disgraced financier died at 66 in jail from an apparent suicide after years of abusing young girls, and critic Justin Tate has now said about how they may have been inspired by a creepy book. It's remarkable how closely the story mirrors real events. The book at the core of the controversy is Space Relations, a slightly gothic interplanetary tale, published in 1973 by Donald Barr, then 44, a former headmaster at Manhattan's elite Dalton School and one-time CIA officer. Online sleuths have latched onto the novel's disturbing plot. Aristocrats running breeding clinics filled with teen sex slaves, and found parallels with the crimes of Epstein, who abused dozens of underage girls in New York, Palm Beach, and on his infamous private island. Barr, who died in 2004, stepped down from his Dalton post before Epstein, then in his early 20s and lacking a college degree, was hired to teach at the Upper East Side Institution in 1974. Nevertheless, the timing, along with Barr's lurid fiction and his son Bill Barr's later role as Attorney General during Epstein's 2019 jailhouse death, has fueled a frenzy of speculation. "The internet is abuzz with many bizarre theories," said Tate, who reviewed the 250-page book on Goodreads. Reflecting on the public reaction and conspiracy theories linking Epstein's sick crimes to the book's plot, he continued, "Some read Space Relations like it's the Da Vinci Code, with hidden clues that might even reveal who killed Epstein. Others marvel over loose connections between Barr's plot and Epstein's crimes." According to Tate, copies of the obscure novel have changed hands online for as much as $4,000. Space Relations follows John Craig, an Earth diplomat captured and sold into slavery on the planet Casa, where the ruling class enforces a regime of sexual domination and forced breeding. In one of the novel's most disturbing scenes, Craig, ultimately made servant to the sadistic elite Lady Morgan Sidney, is compelled to rape a teenage slave girl as part of an interplanetary breeding clinic. Critics have dismissed the book as cheesy, bad writing, and incredibly creepy, but its cult status continues to grow among collectors and conspiracy theorists who claim it reads more like a disturbing prophecy than mere science fiction. Barr's tenure at Dalton coincided with a period of profound change at the school, but there is no evidence he hired Epstein. Still, as Epstein's teaching job was his first step toward social climbing among New York's elite, the circumstantial connections continue to draw attention. In the aftermath of Epstein's suicide at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York in August 2019, then Attorney General Bill, now 74, announced an investigation, calling the situation a perfect storm of screw-ups, citing sleeping guards and malfunctioning cameras. Despite public skepticism, Bill accepted the official finding of suicide. Recently, conservative YouTube host Tucker Carlson, 54, waded into the controversy, featuring historian Darryl Cooper, 46, who said, "It could all be a coincidence, but the odds are against that," after criticizing Bill's conclusion about Epstein's death. Most mainstream fact-checkers have labeled the online claims mostly false, finding no evidence that Barr played any role in Epstein's hiring or that strong similarities exist between Space Relations and Epstein's criminal enterprise. Nonetheless, Space Relations, long consigned to obscurity, has become a touchstone for paranoia, and is now one of the strangest internet-fueled conspiracies of the post-Epstein era.